Hello everyone, a warm welcome back to the weekly briefings here on Women's Cricket Zone with me, Chandini. This is your one-stop shop to know all that is going on in women's cricket. My team and I review all the news and shortlist the highlights from the past week so that you need just a few minutes to update yourself. So here's what I have for you from the week that went by. ICC Cricket World Cup Qualifier called off. The new COVID-19 variant played spoilsport, calling off the remainder of the World Cup qualifier that was being played in Zimbabwe. Due to the recent breakout, travel restrictions are imposed in and around Zimbabwe, which is why ICC has decided to go by the rankings. Chris Tetley, the head of ICC events, declared that Bangladesh, Pakistan and West Indies will now qualify for the ICC Women's World Cup 2022 by virtue of their rankings, while Sri Lanka and Ireland will also join them in the next cycle of the ICC Women's Championship. Kapp shines as Perth Scorchers romp the Women's Big Bash League title. The Perth Scorchers took the Women's Big Bash League 7th edition trophy home in a much exciting final at the Perth Stadium last weekend. Adelaide Strikers captain Tahila McGrath opted to bowl first, and all eyes were on Megan Schuld bowling to Sophie Devine. I'm sure all you cricket lovers caught the action live. For those of you who missed out, you should know that the star of the match was Marizanne Kapp with consistent lines and length and shots. Just to put that into perspective, Kapp bowled 2 overs in the power play, conceding only 2 runs with 10 dot balls. And she fired some boundaries in the last 3 overs, ending the Scorchers' innings at 146. The Adelaide Strikers fell short by 12 runs, managing to score only 134. You can get the detailed match report on our website. Harmanpreet Kaur wins WBBL Player of the Tournament. Playing for the Melbourne Renegades, India's Harmanpreet Kaur has been awarded the Women's Big Bash League's Player of the Tournament this year. Kaur was a leading run getter and wicket taker for her side. She scored 399 runs at an average of 66.5 and a strike rate of 135. She also took 15 wickets at an average of 20. Rana, Bhatia, Pandey and Vastrakar to lead the Challenger Trophy teams. Coming back to India, the Senior Women's Challenger Trophy is all set to begin on December 4th at Vijayawada. Many senior level players involved in the Women's Big Bash League are advised rest, while Mithali Raj and Jhulan Goswami are both out due to finger injuries. In this case, the tournament will see new faces leading the teams and young talent coming in on the field. Sneh Rana, who has had an exceptional performance during the England and Australia series, will lead India A, where she will link up fellow internationals Yastika Bhatia, Renuka Singh Thakur and Simran Dil Bahadur. Tanya Bhatia, leading India B with Anju Tomar as her deputy, has a young team with top 2 performers from the India 19 One-Day Challengers, Jeet Trisha and Soumya Tiwari, along with the likes of Harleen Deol, Riya Chaudhary and Palak Patel. Shikha Pandey, in charge of India C, has a strong bowling lineup as Kashmi Gautam and Priyanka Garkhere, and spinners Tarannum Pathan and Anushka Sharma are in her team. Pooja Vastrakar's India D is the strongest looking squad on paper, a lineup full of young attacking batters like Indrani Roy, Meghna Sabneni, Kanika Ahuja, Amanjeet Kaur, to name a few. So the stage is all set for the women to fire up. What happens there? We shall discuss that next week. Unbeaten UAE qualify for the T20 World Cup Global Qualifiers. Winning 5 of 5 matches in the Asia Qualifiers, UAE march into the T20 World Cup Global Qualifiers. Chamani Senaveratne's half-century and Samaira Dharnidarkar's spectacular bowling of 4 for 5 brought the trophy home for the Emirates. Among other teams, Malaysia beat Bhutan by 11 runs and Hong Kong defended its total against Kuwait to win their respective clashes. Beth Mooney signs 2-year extension with the Perth Scorchers. Australia superstar batter Beth Mooney has extended her contract with the Perth Scorchers for another 2 years. The club announced this just before the final last weekend. Across the last 2 seasons, Mooney has churned out more than 1,000 runs for the Scorchers with an average of over 50. So clearly her contribution and presence is precious for the Scorchers. Darcey Brown re-signs with the Adelaide Strikers. Another news from the WBBL, Australian international Darcey Brown has re-signed with the Adelaide Strikers for 3 years just last week. The 18-year-old Brown was instrumental in Adelaide Strikers' campaign as she took 15 wickets at the group stage of the competition, which includes a hat-trick against the Brisbane Heat. One last bit of information on today's show before I take your leave. Jeff Allardyce is named the new CEO of the International Cricket Council. He has been working in the interim role for more than 8 months after he took over from Manu Sawhney in March this year. And just last weekend, he took over the role permanently. With that, it's a wrap on the show for this week. Do drop in your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I shall be back next week. Until then, be happy, think positive, and stay safe.